Hi, this is Marilyn Horowitz. I'm a professor at NYU, where I teach screenwriting and TV writing. You're now ready to work on creating Act 2, Part 2. What's important to know is that the magic question is, who or what would my main character, quote-unquote, die for? This is dependent on genre, because obviously in a comedy, no one is going to die, but death and change are closely related in dramatic terms. What you have is you have to now identify what your main character values the most, and put that at risk.
Yes, blow it up! Throw it back to God. All your life has been spent in pursuit of archaeological relics. Inside the ark are treasures beyond your wildest aspirations. You want to see it open as well as I.
In Star Wars, he has to become a hero and save his friends, which he does by using R2-D2. In The Godfather, again, a different structure, and the same with Witness, where the characters are taken to a new place, literally, where they have to deal with their inner conflicts, which in this case has to do with their relationship with people and family. Act 2, Part 2 of Witness is where he falls in love with a girl, he puts up the barn and has to decide whether he is going to remain up there or get the bad guys. And while, yeah, he would have done that in the beginning of the movie, there would have been no development of his character. He would have just been carrying out his job. This is a choice. This is a transformation. This is becoming a man, not just becoming a person who avoids other people and just wants to be a shooter. In The Godfather, he has no skin in the game. And because this is a tragedy and because the demands of the story require that he step in as a new Godfather.
I must ask your permission.
Well, Michael is now head of the family, and if he gives his permission, then you have my blessing.
Because Sonny's dead, and Fredo is not confident. You need something that is going to help him transform from an upright lawyer who is helping out his dad against his will to someone who's willing to become a criminal to save his family and take on those values. So what happens is, first he falls in love, something he's avoided doing. So he has real skin in the game. It's his wife, it's his family. And then, when his father's enemies kill her, his father's enemies become his enemies. And that's what breaks his spirit and turns him into a criminal.
No! No!
But without that seemingly innocuous, like, what's he doing wandering around Sicily, he cannot become the person that he needs to be to complete the third act. In The Wizard of Oz, now in the middle, the winged monkeys get her to the castle. And in the castle is the Wicked Witch, who is about to cook Toto and, I think, the Scarecrow. And Dorothy grabs the water and she throws the water on the witch, which basically kills her.
You killed her.
I didn't mean to kill her. Really, I didn't. It's just that he was on fire.
Hail to Dorothy! The Wicked Witch is dead! Hail! Hail to Dorothy! The Wicked Witch is dead!
And again, Dorothy is no murderer, but she would die to save her friends, her family. It is the part of the story that allows the character to have an experience which transforms them and resolves the inner conflict that was preventing them from solving the problem back in Act 1. So this idea that the character, by being willing to change, in other words, the big news in dramatic stories is that the character is willing to let go of being their old self to become their new self in order to attain the goal.
Use the Force, Luke.
So it's not so much that the goal changes, it's what's required of the character. And in a tragedy, the character doesn't change. In the case of Michael, he basically reverts to type. Whereas in the case of Witness, he transforms. And although he completes the same actions, they're done in a completely different way. And for Dorothy, the kind of empowerment that's required to realize that the wizard has no power is to challenge everything she feels about authority. And then for the Good Witch to appear again and lets her know that she can get there on her own 2 feet. Again, woman's journey, empowerment, right? Working Girl, think of all those great movies, right? This is why the question is phrased in that way, who or what would your main character die for? Because for us to change requires something that is that strong. The events that you as the writer pick have to be strong enough. That's why it has to be that Michael's wife is killed. She can't just get hurt. She has to be killed. The wizard can't get her home, not sort of can't.
I can't come back. I don't know how it works.
So again, the thing about Act 2, Part 2 is it's a new part of the movie where the character undergo a new experience that either gives them what they need or fails to, so they can complete the movie.